In 1999, the internet was full of magic and strange and unique little things to be discovered. No algorithm, no influencers, pure, unadulterated magic. Chat rooms, AOL Instant Messenger, GeoCities and Angelfire pages with tile-patterned backgrounds, rife with animated GIFs, beveled and embossed buttons, and MIDI files that just automatically played when you opened a page. All this pulled through a 56K modem. I found this recipe in one of those places and I saved it over the years, amongst a few others I'll share with you on this channel. This one is called Noodles in Faerie Butter. The recipe traces back to A Kitchen Witch's Cookbook, a beloved staple of the 1990s pagan community, which in turn credits an English source from the 1700s. The original notes describe it as a sweet side dish intended to inspire thoughts of spring frolic and the pranks of the Fae. And note that people of the Middle Ages had a deep love of sweetened or spiced butter, particularly honey butter and herb butter. And yum, can you blame them? Medieval European food was not the grim, unseasoned thing we tend to imagine. It was complex, layered, and often deliberately sweet-savory in ways that feel avant-garde to modern palates. Sugar and spice together, fruits paired with meats, the OG charcuterie. Honey stirred into butter and poured over pasta. Yes, pasta existed in medieval England, and yes, they absolutely would have done this. The original recipe uses egg yolks for its golden color and richness. I've replaced them, because I hate egg yolks, with something that does the job far more beautifully. Saffron is the most expensive spice in the world by weight. It has been for most of recorded history. Each thread is the dried stigma of Crocus sativus, hand-harvested, one flower at a time in the cold dawn before the bloom opens. It takes roughly 150 flowers to produce a single gram. It has been cultivated for over 3,000 years, and in that time it has been used as a dye, perfume, a medicine, an aphrodisiac, and an offering to the gods. In ancient Persia and Greece, saffron was strewn across temple floors and bridal chambers. In medieval Europe, it was used to gild food, literally to make it golden, as a display of wealth and magic combined. The color it produces, that deep, luminous amber, was considered sacred in multiple traditions, associated with the sun, with transformation, with the moment between one state and another. And so, before anything else, we begin here. Crumble a pinch of saffron threads into a mortar and grind it down into a fine powder. Then, sprinkle the powder over some ice in a small glass and let it melt to room temperature. Watch it bloom as it does its mesmerizing alchemical reaction. This ice method renders a very vivid color and flavor versus blooming the threads in warm water, but both methods are fine for this recipe. This is doing the work the egg yolks were meant to do, but better, and with a far more precious story behind it. The Fae have always had opinions about food. In Celtic tradition, leaving offerings for the fairy folk was serious business, not whimsical, not decorative. The Ishi were powerful and capricious, and keeping them sweet was a matter of genuine community concern. Milk, bread, and butter were the most common offerings, left on doorsteps or at the boundary of fields on liminal nights. Butter in particular carried deep significance. It was labor-intensive, precious, and perishable. To give butter was to give something real. In Irish folk tradition, butter was considered vulnerable to fairy interference. A cow that stopped giving milk, or cream that refused to churn, was often attributed to fairy mischief. Rituals existed to protect the butter-making process. Rowan branches across the churn, a silver coin in the cream. And so we begin with the butter. Melt the butter in a pan over medium heat. Swirl it gently and watch carefully. It will foam. Then the foam will subside, and the milk solids will begin to turn the color of hazelnuts. The moment it smells nutty and looks amber, remove it from the heat immediately and pour it into a bowl to stop the cooking. While it's still warm, whisk in the bloomed saffron and its water, along with the sugar, orange blossom water, finely grated orange zest, and fresh thyme leaves. Taste it. It should be floral, nutty, faintly sweet, and deeply aromatic. A dish of butter, sweetened and herbed and scented with flowers, poured over noodles in an act of deliberate beauty. This is most certainly an offering. Bring a large pot of well-salted water to a rolling boil. Cook your choice of pasta until al dente. Before you drain it, reserve a full cup of that starchy pasta water. Return the drained pasta to the warm pot off the heat. Pour the Faerie Butter over and toss immediately, adding pasta water a splash at a time until the sauce coats every strand and shines. Tear in about 10 fresh basil leaves and toss again. The heat of the pasta will wilt them just enough. Twirl into nests and plate. Finish with a pinch of flaky sea salt, and if you have them, edible flowers or anything decorative to please the fae. Serve immediately. I'm so glad I'd rediscovered this recipe and I'm able to share it with you. Make it on a May evening. Leave a little in the garden if you're feeling generous. You never know who might be hungry.